Welcome back everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor and I'm Joel, and as you can see we're on the 10.0.4 version of the Giants editor for Farming Simulator 25, and today I'm going to show some examples of some errors that you might run into and how to fix them. Now I'm not going to do all the ones that I had originally had. I didn't quite get some of them to reproduce, so I'll have to work on that a little better because I had already fixed it, and then I said, well, I should do a video on it, but then when I tried to recreate the error, I didn't quite want to do because it had been a little bit since some of them had happened, but I did get to recreate some of them, and so we're going to go ahead and look at the log and show you, but this is the map before I changed the DEM again. And again just means I had originally had it at the correct thing, and then I changed it because I was having other issues with like info layer things. And so anyway, long story short, it wasn't at the right size obviously, and so I changed it back, and that's why we have to smooth it again, because obviously it made it bigger, and we put it at a 4096 now, and then of course we got to smooth the map again because it changes the resolution and it makes these little ridges in the map and everything like that, as you've seen before on a different video, and we'll see in the future video because I got to still smooth it. But in this case, we already did the field. You saw that video, and we painted, we did all that. We did paint all these little fields and stuff dirt, but it didn't accept it. So I showed a video on how to fix it, to do it, and then I had to show another video on how to change one little thing that I accidentally put the wrong path in that video. So if you're having a problem with the dirt texture video, there is another video. Just look a little further down from it, and you'll see how to fix it, and read the pinned comment. I'll always put it in the pinned comment if it's something I can just type out and explain, and if not, and also I usually try to update it in a video, you know. So I accidentally didn't. I shouldn't have put maps US. I should have just put data and whatever. So that was what was wrong. So the weight file of the dirt. So that's all you gotta do for that. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go look at the log and see what the errors were on this map, because there was some stuff popping up to do with the farmland. And let me see. Let me find the log. So I'm gonna go here. Guess we'll go ahead and make it bigger. You go down, you go through till you get to your Farming Simulator game. So wherever yours is at, mine's in Documents, My Games. As you see Documents, you would double click, then double click on My Games in your little list, and then double click on Farming Simulator 25. And you come in here and you go down to Log, right click on it, Edit with Notepad++, and you can see here is the error. The rest of it is the normal errors, as you see the density map stuff that it normally has when you first start. Okay, so that's not something I'm trying to recreate because it's normally there anyway. This is one that popped up and I was like, what in the world? And so this is what's wrong with this one. When you put your field ground XML into your map, which we'll show that real quick. We'll go over here to the map area. Now you just go to the map that you're working on, and if you got that error, this is what you'll go do, or what you have an error for. You go down to the config folder, and here's the field ground XML. So if you right click and then edit with Notepad++, you'll come in here and you'll see, now I did this on purpose just to make the error. Obviously this is what it should look like up above it. And then depending on what the deal is, for some reason the main game has PNG on some of these things that are actually GRLEs, and I don't know why they did, or if my game just accidentally changed or what. I've seen another map that way. I don't know if there's some new thing that they just put PNG now. I don't know, so you know, that could be a possibility, but right now I have it as GRLE on the field type, but I've seen others that had it PNG, even though it's not a PNG at this point, but maybe there's some other setup they've changed. I don't know. I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head, not without having looked at it further. But in this case, to fix that error that we're going to go look at, we'll go back to it for a minute. We'll come back to this because I need it to, um, you know, let's close this one so we can get it closer to the end. Let's close that, and this should be the log. Is this the log? Yeah. Um, that way we can get closer to the end of this mess I got up here, so we can jump back and forth. Alright, so let's go back to the field thing real quick. Edit with Notepad++, and then the log thing is right here. So what you want to look at when you have your error, just read it, okay? It says failed to load density map, GRLE image, then it tells the path of like where the stuff's at, the map and all that, and then data info layer, and then field type .grle. And then it says error missing field data density map data for field ground density maps field type creating empty default. Okay, and there was another error that was popping up before this with the field thing. I'll try to recreate it later. It probably might have been, I don't know if it was because I didn't even have the field type GRLE in there at all, or what, something else was going on. I'll try to recreate later and show you how to fix it. But anyway, I already fixed it, but I just didn't know at the time. I wasn't even thinking about doing a video on it. I just fixed it, and so I gotta try to recreate it and see. But so basically, if you'll just read it very carefully and say, well, it says that, and then it has this here, so you just think in the order that you see it. So what is that probably telling you? Without knowing anything at all, okay? Just a lay person, just what, you know, you see that, and so you automatically would assume to go to the field ground XML, right? Okay, right click, edit with Notepad++. And then when you get in here, what was the next line of information? It was density maps, remember? Now we're going to jump back and forth this way. So here's the log. Then the next one was dot density maps. And then the next one was field type. So we're going to click back to the field ground that we were on. And what do we have here? We have field ground at the top, right? See it? And then we have what? Density maps. And then in this list here, what do we have somewhere? Field type. There you go. There's your answer. So what do? So it's probably the path. And then it says it failed. Let's go read it again. This one. It says it failed here loading. Okay, loading that density map. What's the density map? Field type. Couldn't load the density map. Field type. It failed. And then it tells you it's missing field. That means that information that it needs to have the right path is missing. It'd be nice if they would have said the path is wrong. But they didn't. Okay? So now we're going to jump back to there. And in this case, it needs to be maps US, data, and then the info layer. Now sometimes if it's coming, now let me go back to the area so you can see. Oh, wrong spot. Oh, that's it. Okay, we're going to back up to map, the Jules map. Okay, as soon as you get in your mod map, you go in your map. Then you see this. Double click the maps. See? Maps. That's the first one after your map name. So you're going to have to write that. Maps US, you're going to have to write that. And then you come in here to wherever it is. So in this case, it'd be data. Double click that. And come in here, and then you got field type GRLE. So now you know you got to type maps US, data, field type, or info layer. You got to have the whole thing. Info layer, field type. But you just can change the thing if you copy that from the end game. Now you say, oh, I don't even have the field. Let me see. You say, I don't even have the field GRLE. Well, go get it from the end game. Say, well, how do I do that? Well, we could go ahead and come to another folder, and this one's already in there, but we'll go through it again. Yours might be in C drive, program files 86. If you've got Steam, go to Steam, then Steam apps, common, and then your farm sim game, whatever you got. In my case, it's in D drive, and in Steam library, double click, Steam apps, double click, common, double click. Yours might be somewhere else. Farm sim, double click, data, double click. Go to maps, double click, map US, double click, and then go to config, double click. Then you can grab this and right click and hit copy, do not cut. Okay, click copy. If you also want to go ahead and grab the field one, you need to do that. You can do that. If it's path, I'm not certain on the field thing just yet fully, but if you're having issues, put one in your map, and if you're not, and you path it to the right place, and I'll show you that in the map US XML, because you got to path it. But pretend you got both of these, okay, or any one of the things you need. Say you got collectibles or whatever you think you need. You should already have some of them. You need to store items and things like that, so get that and different ones. But basically, get the ones you want and come back to your map like so, and you're gonna go back one because you got to get to config. Go in config. I'm not going to do it because I already have it, but you would right click and click paste, and then it would pop that field ground in there, and you do the same for fields. These are all I put in there so far. Doesn't mean I won't put anything else. And you need to then go to map US, and then map right here, US XML, right click and edit with Notepad++. And you can see the field ground XML here needs to say maps US, config, fieldground.xml, or, and so does the Farmlands if you put one in there in your config folder, which you have to because you got to be making and painting your Farmlands. And if you're having an error about that, that could be why. So put this here, and you might get rid of an error for your Farmlands. Okay? Make sure you put your path. Your path might be different. Yours might say maps map EU or something else. It might say a whole different thing. Maps config and not US. Just depends on how you set your thing up. Maps US config fields.xml. So we're going to come in here and look for the path. Maps US config, and then we have the file name. So you would see that's what you would put as your path. Maps US config, and then whatever the one of the XMLs is. So whatever the XML is, you put it, and then you go from there. Let me plug this headset in real quick. Let's see. Battery's going dead. Alright, so now you've pathed each one of the ones that you put in here to the right path. So if we go back to the XML thing, you can see every one of them I had to put maps US config. Yours needs to be whatever yours is. So if yours says you don't have the map US folder, say you come in and you go to maps and this folder's not here, and right when you click on maps you see all the stuff, then that's what you're going to put, maps, and then whatever's next. You won't have the map US. So whatever you click on to get there, and then whatever the file is, you click that. So you would put this, everything after the map name, this, and field ground. Maps US config, and field ground, or whatever is here. So then if you're doing one from the i3D, like in the i3D itself, if you open this i3D and you're trying to put the path of what you need in there, you need to start from here, because it starts from the map i3D. So if you right click on the map i3D and edit with Notepad++, let it reload, you're going to see up here at the top that they just say data asphalt, weight PNG. Well, let's go look. Why does it only have that and not all that extra stuff? Maps US, yada yada. right? You would say, why don't it? There's the map one. Maps US data, asphalt weight. That's what you would assume you put. But that's not what you put. And you say, well, why? Because it's not the one that's in the I. See, you're opening the Map US I3D. Whenever you're working in the Map US I3D, you're gonna start counting the files from here, not Maps US. You don't need Maps US. So you're gonna say, okay, the first file to get to the file I need. If I'm writing down an info layer inside the Map US, say info layer Farmlands, and I gotta go find it. So I start here. We know we're in where the I3D is, and we say, oh, there's data, so it's in there. So then we double click it, so we know we gotta write data, and then we go find the Farmlands, and it's here. So we know we only have to write data and info layer Farmlands in the I3D. Only in the I3D. Otherwise, you're gonna need to put maps US, and then whatever else is behind it. For like we saw in the Map US XML area, notice they didn't just have config field ground. You know what I'm saying? They had maps US config field ground. See what I'm saying? So that's what you have to go by. And you can see these dollar data and then this little dollar sign there. That's going to the end game. So any that you see that have that, if you're not putting it in your map, then let it stay calling it from the end game. You don't need to change it. But if you put something in your map and you're working on it from there, you've got to put it in here. If I don't put maps US config farmground.xml in here, like the path to mine, it's only going to call the end game if you left it as this, number one, and if you change it, then it's not going to update those changes and show them because you're not even pathing it to call it. This calls it, okay? So I don't want to spend too much time on that, but that's that. And then let's go on and go fix, we already fixed that, or did we fix it? Let's go fix it. Go back to the field ground. Remember we were in here, and what we need to do, so basically let me go back real fast so I don't confuse you if you're wanting to fix it. The error that we saw, okay? Go back in config, go back to field ground, right click, edit with Notepad++. That's how you get here. And then we're going to type maps with an S / or whatever your path is, whatever yours starts with, whatever, however you got it set up. And then map, lowercase, all that's lowercase. Then it's a capital US for me. It might be something else for you. And then data, info layer, underscore field type .grle. Now, like I said, it could potentially need to be at some point PNG if they did do some new thing. I don't know why it would be, but it is a GRLE, so I would put this. But if you're having a problem, try the PNG is all I can tell you. I really don't know why they didn't do that in the main game. It's kind of confusing to me because it is a GRLE. But so once you do it, you fix it, and you got your path right, you go on and hit save. Okay? And you're done with that. And remember, it was because it said field ground, density maps, and field type in this log right here. Field ground, density maps, and field type. And that's how we knew exactly, hey, that's what we got to do. And it told us what happened. It didn't load, and it said it had missing field. So now, watch this right here. It's going to go away when I go back in the game. So we're going to go ahead and go in game. I already have it in the mods folder. This is the log that has the error. So it's going to update this when we go in game. It's going to change this. This is going to go away. Now in the meantime, I guess what we should do before we go in the game, we'll just go ahead and address the other error. This is an error, and it's only because I wasn't trying to put those collectibles in the map. I was just showing it, a tutorial on it and how to get the building in there in one lump sum. But if you want the buildings that was with that collectible building where the museum, it's a grain museum, and you want them to have those little buildings and things with it. I believe these are those buildings. If they're not, I have no idea what buildings they are because I didn't put any on the map other than that. So if we go look at the map, and if I can find it, guess I can't. Here it is over here. Let's just see if we can find it. Alright, hit F. Oh, we gotta open it. Let's hit F on the stove. There we go. See over here the buildings and stuff? So I'm assuming that that's what those are. I don't know, I hadn't clicked on it. This says it's a shed, the bench. So I don't know, but I know that you can get rid of them by you need the placeable information for it. There could be some build somewhere else that I don't even know where it is on my map. Somewhere that I didn't. Looks like there's one here. Let's just see. What is this? See, that's the one of the buildings that had the. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. This one. It's this one. It must be some of these. That's a garden shed. Whatever. It's in some of these where they hid the little collectible, and so that building and a couple other things is what it's showing. So if we look, you can read it. It tells you what it is. So you'll be able to find it in the main game area. I hope I didn't just delete. Looks like I deleted something. Yeah, I accidentally did. There we go. I fixed it. Okay, so if we go in the main game area real quick, because I don't want to go too far with it. Well, we need to go to the main game area. Let's see. We'll go here. Alright, now we've already went through to get there, but I'll back up to at least a little bit to Steam Library, I guess. I will just go all the way. D, mine's in D, Steam Library, Steam Apps, common, double clicking all these. FS25 data, maps, maps US, and then in this case, we're going to go to config and go to placeables, right click, edit with notepad, plus plus. And as you can see, this number here is one of those. You're going to look at it, C5A, just read the last little digit, and then farm, barn, small, old. So what we're going to do is go back to the log. Can't remember which one it was now. Was it this one? Yeah. And you're going to go ahead and look for that. Okay, farm, shed, small, old, C5A. There it is. This one. So that one. Now if we go back again, we got to go back to where we were. Just going to pop back to it. Make it easier. Faster, just go back this way. Alright, so then you would get this line of information and put it, hit copy, and put it in your map, placeable XML. Now, what would be a normal way of doing this is to actually use that toolkit to place it, the placeable toolkit, and place the building that way. But when I showed the video, I was trying to show you how to get it in a lump sum if you wanted it the way that it was and set up the way it was, but say you're putting it someplace else. So what you could do is put it in there, mark out your little spots where you was putting it, and then you could just go ahead and delete those or leave them there till you call it in on your own from the placeable toolkit, so it generates your own code and you're not using this code. And then it'll put this in the map. So if you just watch the placeable toolkit video and it should take care of it. I hadn't put these in yet on my own with the placeable toolkit, but I've used the placeable toolkit, so you can put it in that way. Or if we just to put this one in there, it will make the error go away, but I don't know if it's going to have a problem because the position of that building is somewhere else. It may not. I don't think it does, but if it does, that's why you want your own code with yours, and that's why you even use the placeable toolkit, in my opinion. So we'll copy this. I think I already hit copy, and we're going to go to our placeables XML right here. So just went back to my map, make sure you're in the right one, right click and edit with Notepad++. It says, yeah, something was loaded. You see it took them all away that I had put in there? Apparently that was the one I'll have to look, but what you can do is just come up here and hit enter, right click and click paste, and then that will take the error away. If I hit save now, just that one, just the one we just did, this small barn or farm barn small old 7 with the C5A number on attached to it will disappear. The error will go away. So, but like I said, you just saw them disappear, so potentially it'll pop it back up. So this is the last one. We'll go in game. We'll leave these. We'll only do this one and go on in game, and you see there ain't no more down here except the vehicle thing, which we already talked about, that we're not doing anything till later with that. So of course there's going to be an error on the vehicles because we're not even worried about setting up the vehicles. But there's a video on my channel if you want to look it up to how to do that. But there will be a F25 version of it. I will make another video of it when I set mine up. But right now, I haven't even built the map, so I don't even know where I'm going to put anything. So I don't even care about the vehicles. But I'm leaving them there in case I have to use them to test something, just to save time. Okay, so that's the error, and this will go away. This one that we just fixed, that'll go away. And then these are the ones that's already there when you start the game. And there ain't any more in there up the list. All this is the norm. So all that's normal. We're going to get rid of this right here. It's going to go away. And then one of these are going to go away, which will be the last one, because it's the one we just put in the map. But you saw it erase itself, so it may delete it again. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go on in the game and see what happens. We already hit save, I believe, I hope. Maybe we should check. Yeah, we already hit save. So, let's go on in game, test this thing and see. And like I say, if it did it because it's not in the right spot. And, yeah, okay. And the little thing in game, I'll have to show you in the Giants editor. But basically, I'd rather have my own unique ID for it. So that's the way I would do it, preferably. Trying to wait for this. It's going to take a second because I hadn't loaded it today, I don't think. Or maybe I only loaded it once or so. But let's get on in there. Try to hurry. Appreciate everybody. Go ahead and smash the like button. Let's get in there, and there's going to be one more thing I do before I end the video. I'll talk about it when there's no music playing. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Check out the playlist for help on tutorials, and you can watch gameplay that I have done. Hopefully get that back up and running soon. Here we go. Let it load up. It's getting rid of all that, putting it all back together. I want to show you something in there, and then we'll go fix it. Another thing. And hopefully that helps people get their errors, at least a little bit of them, squared away. I will be doing another Farmland video, but not right now. I want to wait till I do a little more on the map. But this is at least fixing some of the errors that people might have, because I'll show you something when we get in there. There we go. Get in there. And we're still over here because I left it here. But we're going to hit escape and then go on in here. And I want you to notice something real quick. What do you see? You see the fields. This is what I wanted to show you the fix for. Another fix. These fields are not on the field. And I know some people are having that problem. And you can see that's a farmland. That's actually a field. I mean a farmland number, but it's supposed to be on top of the field because it's the one because I painted this little section here for Farmland 1, so it should be over there. That should be Farmland 1. 2 should be there, and 3 should be there. That's what I painted just for an example, not that that's what it'll be. And then 4, I painted the whole map in, just to clear everything to make it not have any other errors. Okay, so if your map looks like that and you're like, oh, my field's over there and the number is supposed to be over there for the farmland and it's not working, and of course you go down to farmland and you can see the farmland thing here. So if you click on it here, you can see it up there. It's kind of hard to see it. I'm gonna have to roll in so you can see it when you click on it, and there's the farmland. Alright, so if you're having that problem with the number thing, I'll try to get off of there so you can see it again. If you're having that problem, the fix is, at least in this case, because this is supposed to be a 4x map, change your DEM. Okay, now there could be another fix if you have an issue with one of your layers potentially being the wrong size. Potentially, maybe that's the issue. But now that we've came in and came out, let's go look at the log, because it's going to update it, and we'll see if those errors disappeared. So let's go see it. It's automatically will update it when I go in it. Hit edit with no plus plus. Yes, it's been modified, and we do want to reload it. And look and see. See that little bottom number, bottom one for that building, that farm building, whatever, whichever one it's C5A or whatever it was, it's gone. So now we only have 4. If we did the same thing and looked in that list of that placeables, we would find each one of these in that placeables of the main game where you got it from, and you could put them in your map and they'll go away. But bear in mind, it don't have its own unique ID, and you may have an issue if it's a position sort of thing, if you get what I'm saying. If there's a certain position, then you might have an issue, is my point. So let's go ahead and roll up. Look, now this is all here, all the regular stuff. That's all the regular stuff. See that? All the regular things. That's all the regular stuff. No new errors. And watch, we're not going to find that other one we just fixed. That's something else. That's the regular one. Now these were the ones we said only one would disappear, and it did. And look, they're not there. Now that we still got the vehicle thing we talked about, but we're not worried about it because we're not doing the vehicles right now, but we will. And then these will go bye-bye. So you see? Now that farmland, whatever, and it might be on one of these. I don't know. Let's look. No, that's a different one. Yeah, that's a different one. But it's pretty similar, actually. This one is it right here. This is a different old log I kept on purpose to show you. So see, this is the one we fixed. Oops, I accidentally moved it. Let's back up. This is the one we fixed. And then this new, and the log we just loaded, it's not there anymore because it's fixed. So you know that it's gone. And that's how you check it. Now, you say, well, what did you say about the field? I want the farmland thing to go on top of the field. Why is it not on there? In this case. Well, in this case, in my case, we're going to back up to the data folder, double click it real quick, click on the DEM, hover over it, and what does it say? 2049. Well, that's not what we need in this case because of what we got these at. And some of these we got to deal with too, because they're in PNG, and I hadn't even added them from the in game. And that's what you would want to do potentially, is just drop from go to the in game area of the main map, just the same path as the in game one, and grab all the info layers, the extra ones that you need, and throw in here and see if you can't get it to work from there. I hadn't been able to get them to do what they need to do. This one's at a 8192 for a 4x, but when I try to convert it, it doesn't seem to want to, but I hadn't really messed with it much, so I'll have to look at it again. But as you can see, this here needs to be changed so your farmland will land on the field, because the field thing is already where it should be in this case, and the rest of them should be pretty much right unless I didn't change them all. Um, and need to make sure you have the indoor mask and all the little deals. Okay, if you're having a bunch of problems with Farmlands, go to the main game, get a copy of their main game Farmlands, and put it in here and start from there and go restart from scratch like that and fix it. But anyway, right click on the DEM and go down to open with paint.net. Come up here to image, then resize, and then where it's highlighted, type in 4096 for a 4x. Now you don't need to do that if you're working on the normal size 2x standard map like Riverbend. If you want it to be the same size as Riverbend, leave it alone. But this is the 4x, so we're going to up it to 4096 and hit OK. Now it's going to change it, but it's going to cause this resolution. It looks like we got little faces in here. You see that? It looks like a face, but what that is where I put my little waterfall things where they fall into another little round waterfall spot, a little pool, and down it goes. It looks like a little face. And this, look at this right here. That looks like a skull, and it ain't. I didn't make that. I promise you. I literally just built up the ground over here, and it turned into a skull. I have no idea why. That's so silly, and that looks like a face to me, but I don't know. But anyway, that's where the waterfall will be, and then there'll be some waterfalls falling down here. But so now we hit save. We gotta save it after you do it. Make sure you hit save. And now we'll minimize and come back in here, and you'll come over it, and you'll see it says 4096. Now when we save it in the game, in the map, in the Giants editor, it'll change it to 4097. And once we do that, we're going to change, in my opinion, now I'm not certain 100% on this one, so I got to do a little more research. But what I did before is just duplicate it, copy it, or whatever you want to say. I copy it, wherever it is, copy that one after I get it the way I want this one. And then I'll put it somewhere, rename it, unprocessed height map, and then I'll throw it in there so it'll be the right size. So what you'll do, I think I hit copy. Did I already hit copy? Let's do it. Let's just do it real quick, and that way. Now I'm gonna come back right here for a second and make a new folder just to throw it in. Copy, just so I know what folder it's in. Come on. Open it. Right click. Paste. I'm doing that. Well, let's put this on view so we can change it to an icon, because we're going to have to change this name. So what we're going to do is go back to where we were and go back in data, go down to the unprocessed height map and click until you click, and then click again right after, and then it highlights it, and right click and hit copy so you can copy this. You're going to back up to where you put that file, because now some people can do it without that and overwrite it. And I probably could too. I probably could have, but I don't know. Sometimes I've had an issue, so we'll, just get it, highlight the DEM one, and click paste. Now you have that one, and now you can take it in there, and you can just cut it from here, or save it if you want to save it. Come back, go to data, and because I couldn't have changed the name while I was in here, because that's the way my computer does. Some computers may do different process than that. So now we're going to paste it in, and it'll say replace it, and I'm going to say yes. Replace the file and the destination, yes, because we want it to be now this one, and we just changed the name of it. That's all we did, and now it's 4096. Okay, now it doesn't seem to update this one to 4097, so I don't know. So like I said, there could be another way to do this part, but that's how I did it for the DEM. Now that we've got that, and if we go ahead back into the map, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. It should go ahead and do it, and then we're going to go in the game. It shouldn't change anything or mess anything up. We should be all set. I think it's finished. And now I'll double check real quick back over here. Just check it and see if it changed it. Yeah. No, it changed it back. Or did I go to the right place? It changed it back. Okay. Interesting. So I need to close that one real quick. Just hang on. Let's close this real quick. We're going to close that. Going to click back on this one and open with paint.net. Go back to image, resize it again, 4096. Now, if it won't let you, 4096, it could be an info layer issue. Now, I'm going to have to check because some of these I fix and forget I fixed. So I may have fixed it and just didn't even remember that I had fixed it. So hit save after you did all that. Come back and then go back and let's check this one. Okay, that one stayed. Okay, so we'll leave it. That one stayed. Now this one's 40. Now we're just gonna go on in game, I guess. It should work since we put it there. We could open. Let's go on and open it here. We'll test it. Let it open. It should open. If there's an error with an info layer issue of the size thing, then we'll have to fix that. But it should let me open it. Because sometimes some things changes the numbers, even though you had them one way, they change. You got to watch out for that because when I don't remember if it was Farmlands or something else, I can't remember now. I had changed it, one of them things, like the size, and with the converter, and then it changed all my weight files to 512 or whatever it was. So it was like really weird, and I had to change them all back to whatever. Here you go. Now it's going to do it. So now you see all the jaggedy stuff, right? Because we upsized it and it changed it, the resolution. So see, it's all different now, and it changed the position. See, this moved. It would have been over there, remember? But since the map's bigger, you can see how much bigger it is. See how far it moved? So now the map's that much bigger. And I had originally started out that way, but I was having some issues with the layers, so I was just trying to work with it. And finally I got the layers straight, so then I had to fix the DEM. So that's kind of what happened. It kind of went backwards on me. I was right with the DEM to start with, but the layers weren't. I kept fighting with them, got them, and fixed the way that a 4X should be, and then had to go back and fix the DEM, and that's why I got to re-smooth the map, because now it looks like this. Has the little jaggedy edges. And if we'll go to the field spot, let's highlight it here, get over there. This is our field now, and look how much bigger and further away we are from the edge. But look what it's putting us at. It's saying the field is here, and the field is there, right? But it's technically over here. So what you would do is you would put it back. But in the meantime, last time, now I don't know if it'll do it this time. Last time, I went ahead and went on in after I saved it, and it showed up like they were over here, even though it technically is over there. And then I just redid the fields again, laid out my course again like I showed in the video, hit save after I did all the little deal, and then it was showing up in the right place. But we're just going to hit save and see, just so I can show you. We're going to hit save, and it should save this size now to where it needs to be. But if it contradicts anything else that needs to be changed to accommodate this size, it'll give us an error, or we'll have to see, so we'll know what to change. We may have to change something else, because like I said, this is the previous map. This ain't the one I fixed. This is the previous Jules Peaceful map, Valley map. So this is the one I'm trying to show you the errors on, recreate some of the errors so I can show you the fixes. That's what I'm trying to do. Sometimes it's hard to recreate an error after I done fixed it, because I just stumble around and fix them all and don't even remember what I did half the time. Well, some of it. If it's something I had to just stumble around and figure out, I may not remember, but all the path of what I did or how to recreate it, but I fix it. You know what I'm saying? I'll figure it out. It's just going to take time because it's so much bigger now. And don't worry if you have to do this, you can smooth it. Just get the little sculpting tool, the little arrows up there, and put it on smooth and just gently go around and smooth it. You can make it a pretty decent size brush, but not too big, because you don't want to flatten everything. So you want to make the brush size probably maybe something, you could make it something like that, but don't go too crazy with it, and just smooth it all down. Put this if you're under the sculpt mode, it's going to be individually, these little bars will be individually to each mouse button. Put it up to about right there, and because you don't want to smooth it too quick, but you also don't want to flatten everything, because you want some of the hills. So just work with it and just go around the whole map, and you're just gonna take forever, but you're gonna have to do it, and I've got to do it. So this is gonna be days. It took me a while to do the 20, like 3 days, I guess. Not all day, obviously. So I got a lot of smoothing to do. So now we're gonna go in game. We're trying to hurry. I want to show you what it looks like so you see, and then if it didn't move the field or the farmland number to the field, then you'll know. But it should have, because that's not the actual field number. See, the field is not numbered in that way, and at least it shows a farmland. It's just weird how they got it, but that's how they got it. It's just not like it was. Let's load up. Apologize if it's too long. I'm trying to show enough that y'all can kind of grasp and fix some things. I hope I'm making sense to you. Alright, let's get this loaded. There we go. Might take a minute. Looks like it's gonna be a long video. I'm not trying to make the video long, but if I don't explain these things, I don't know how you're gonna figure them out unless you just stumble around like I did. I'm gonna try to title the video as best I can, because I can't write much in the title. I'll put something to do with error, fixing errors, or this and that. I don't know. We'll see what I can put. But it's hard because you would have to really break it down. I'd have to make a super short video and only do one error at a time, pretty much. And I may do that at some point, but I don't. Right now, I'm just gonna try to put it all in this one. Alright, see, so it changed the height. See how that's up there now? But it only changed the height. It didn't change the actual height of the map. It just changed it in this case because that moved, and this particular place was higher than the other place. Okay? So if you look, hit this, and we come over here, look what happened. These are where the fields things are now. So the farmlands are painted in the right spot. Now the only reason that's painted that way is, see, it's in the center. And I could have painted this farmland exactly center, and it would have put the 3 over the field. But I didn't, because that's just how I painted the farmland. See, so this number represents the farmland, not the field. Okay? You see that? And that's where I painted to us to own it, like the house and this and that. But we're not, it'll be painted differently whenever it's really painted. This was just real quick and getting going. So, but there you go. And you see the fields if you go through. You can see the stuff shows up. So if it would have had crop on it, it would have showed it. It said it had needed lime or whatever it said. So there we go. Looks like we have a field over here. Oh, it's because the field is showing up because, remember, we saw those field pieces. This one's painted, okay, but the generator threw it over here as smaller on account of the numbers. I mean the polygon points. Remember, they were in the center of the map, and that's why that little field showed up. Otherwise, that wouldn't show up. If you take and move your polygon points now, you need to move all your polygon points back over here. Your field, put your field back at field 1 right here. Put your polygons all around it. Make sure all of it's in the middle. Put field 2 here. put your polygons on the corners, save it, do a map collision thing, uh, and then save it, and then those, this one will go away. This little piece, this little heart, won't be there anymore because you moved the polygons over there. But anyway, that's good, and that shows you how to get those numbers of the farmlands over there. So means your DEM potentially is wrong, or if your DEM is right, maybe it means one of your info layers is incorrect size. So you could try that. So I'm not sure on if it can throw the same issue with a different error, like a different problem, but it's definitely the DEM on that in that case. But these right here need to be moved, and you would just highlight field 1, control B as in boy, left mouse click, bring it over here, and then put it there. And if you notice it would show up as not in the right spot because we resized the map, so you see the heart would be too small. So all these have got to be regenerated and put around, and you'll have to add even more, duplicate even more in this case. And in this case, for the number 2, you would do the same, control B, left mouse click, and then when you open it up and do your polygons, same thing. You got to put your points further because it's going to look smaller because the map was made bigger. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call that here. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification. And before I hit close, let's go look one more time to data. I want to show you that the DEM changed to 4097. See? Now I don't think this one does. It didn't. So I'm still unsure on this. I'll have to learn a little more about it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call that here. I hope you enjoyed. Please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.